I'm Julie. I'm the manager of external affairs.
Great to meet you.
Do you want to come take a look at the health center?
Yes, let's go for a tour. So Julie, what's Planned Parenthood's mission?
At Planned Parenthood, we want to make sure that everybody can get the health care that they need, no matter what.
And we're in one of 17 clinics in Illinois, so how many people do you service here?
In Illinois, we see more than 65,000 patients.
So can Planned Parenthood survive without public funding?
No, the support that we get from our donors would not be able to replace the reimbursements that we get for Medicaid.
Where would all these patients go if Planned Parenthood didn't exist?
Sadly, most of them wouldn't have anywhere to go.
So Julie, what's the #1 service patients come to Planned Parenthood for?
Our contraceptive services, our birth control. When you make an appointment to get a consultation, then you also get your birth control that day.
Sounds like it's all about accessibility here.
Accessibility and putting patients first and making sure that they are in a non-judgmental, confidential, safe environment.
So Planned Parenthood offers way more than people think it does, and we touched on defunding right there for a minute. In 2011, then Governor Pence was the governor of Indiana, and he passed legislation that defunded family planning, which included Planned Parenthood. There was an HIV epidemic going on in Indiana. It got much worse, and there was an STI outbreak in his community. Planned Parenthood does so much for our community.
Yeah, and I thought it was a very interesting and very relevant question when you asked, where would they go if Planned Parenthood didn't stand? Like, I'm trying to think where you would funnel those people that are clearly in need of help.
People that don't have insurance, that are underinsured.
Yeah, you don't just send them to the hospital.
Exactly.
I think it's certainly important, and I think that's what you're trying to show, that they offer so many other services. Obviously, there are a lot of people that don't agree with some of the services they do offer, specifically regarding birth control or abortions. However, you're pointing out that there is just general health that they're trying to provide for
they
the
even service men, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because most people think that Planned Parenthood exists simply for birth control services and specifically for women, but there's a lot more to it. Take a look at this. So Dr. Whitaker, what kind of care do you guys provide here?
We provide a whole range of reproductive health services, every contraceptive method that's FDA approved, STD testing, cervical cancer screening. We provide pre-exposure prophylaxis for HIV, and we provide transgender care.
So Dr. Whitaker, we're standing in an exam room. This is where you take patients back. So today we're gonna debunk Planned Parenthood myths. I've never actually been inside a Planned Parenthood, so I wanna figure out what it's all about.
Okay.
All right, so the first myth is that Planned Parenthood is an abortion clinic.
We are proud to provide high quality, excellent, compassionate abortion care, but we provide a host of other services.
Another myth is that you only provide care for women.
We provide care for men, women, for male care. We do vasectomy services, cancer screenings.
Another myth is that if defunded, Planned Parenthood patients could be absorbed by other providers.
There's simply no way for other providers to absorb the care that we provide.
Wow, I think that's a huge myth. Like, obviously I'm a woman, but I didn't even think of the man's perspective, them needing the proper care.
Yeah, so I guess I'm curious, is it commonplace for men, were men, I mean, obviously no names, right, because of confidentiality, but were you seeing men coming in and out? Was it a, is that a commonplace activity?
Wow.
It's really for people that are uninsured, underinsured, or just feel safe there. It's really like a safe haven. And I wanted to actually speak to some of the patients that the people that Planned Parenthood is really servicing. So I talked to Courtney and Maria. Maria and Courtney, can you guys explain your experience at Planned Parenthood?
So my experience has been both as educational. I want to be a doctor. So they've taught me how to be a better healthcare provider, because they not only provide care, but they also teach you about how to become a healthier person.
For me, Planned Parenthood was really a lifeline in a really difficult time for me. I was very worried that I couldn't afford my birth control anymore. I use birth control to treat endometriosis. So you have anything from, chronic pain all the way up through being infertile. They were so kind and understanding, and I left the same day with the medication that I needed. I think that without stepping into the gap the way Planned Parenthood did, I would not have had the level of health I needed to become a mother. So I absolutely credit the service that I got from Planned Parenthood with helping me to achieve my biggest dream of being a mom.
Very cool stuff. So what would you say is the main demo? Is the two women we're looking at there in that part of the piece that typically are obviously we talked about being available to so many, but is there a higher demo?
Well, I think that the takeaway that I found is that they service so many people for so many different health needs that there really isn't one demo. And Trump and Pence came out on Friday to behind legislation that will defund family planning services, Planned Parenthood being one of those. And it's Title X providers. So just for reference, Rush is a Title X provider, which people don't think about. But Planned Parenthood makes up only 18% of Title X providers, and they service 42% of the care. They do
42%.
so much for our community, more than people think, and it hurts my heart when people feel like defunding it would be acceptable.
What was the thing you were most surprised by? I mean, obviously the whole thing was debunking myths. Was there one myth where you were kind of, whoa, I didn't know that?
Yeah, because it's for I thought of it as people that were uninsured or underinsured. I didn't know if the facilities would be great. It was nicer than my doctor's offices, first of all, and second of all, the people there were so loving and so welcoming, and it was a place that I would want to go hang out after school. There was just no judgment. It was so cool.
And Danielle, I do want to challenge you just a little bit.
Please.
And you and I have these conversations.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that don't agree with Planned Parenthood, and they've seen some controversial videos, not only on the news, but certainly on the internet in terms of the care that they provide. Definitely. Is there anything that Planned Parenthood is doing to make sure that they ensure that the care is not only within the law, but also within their guidelines?
Yes, they are incredibly diligent. So abortions are only 3% of the services that they provide, and they are not funded by public money. So that is all privately funded. All of the public funding goes to cancer screenings and STI screenings and birth control and things like that. And secondly, it's economically valuable to have places like Planned Parenthood and Title X providers. When we take away their funding, taxpayers actually have to fill in that gap. And so it will become incredibly expensive for us and obviously detrimental to people's health if that's taken away.
Incredibly interesting stuff.
Great work. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Absolutely.
All right, so for those interested in more information on Planned Parenthood, visit their website at plannedparenthood.org.